The individuals embarked on a quest to decipher the shark's unwavering determination and the profound impact of the mesmerizing melody. The remarkable discoveries made by the researchers would not only serve to completely redefine the existing knowledge and comprehension surrounding the majestic creatures known as great white sharks, but they would also provide invaluable insights into the mysterious and elusive forces that lie hidden beneath the vast expanse of the ocean's enigmatic depths. Santa Catalina, a place forever etched in the memories of those who experienced the bone-chilling encounter, has remained a cherished place for intrepid explorers and passionate lovers of the sea. The memory of the shark, the great white that defied any logical explanation, continued to linger in the town's collective consciousness like a haunting specter, serving as a constant reminder of the untamed wonders that lie beneath.
At first, knowing that the deep waters were home to all kinds of creatures, some of them dangerous. But the peer pressure and the allure of adventure got the better of him. He took a deep breath and plunged into the cool water, the others following suit. For a few moments it was all laughter and splashing around, but then, out of nowhere, a dark shadow loomed beneath the surface. Andy barely had time to register what was happening before a massive creature revealed itself to Andy and all his friends. To their horror, they met the apex predator of the sea, the great white shark. As Andy struggled in the water, his body thrashing with fear, his eyes locked onto the great white shark's eyes. They were cold and black, filled with a primal hunger that chilled him to the bone. The shark's massive jaws opened wide, revealing row upon row of razor-sharp teeth, each one glinting in the sunlight. Andy's heart pounded in his chest as he fought to stay afloat, but the shark was relentless. Its powerful jaws clamped down on his leg, the teeth sinking deep into his flesh. The pain was excruciating, a white-hot fire that shot through his entire body. The freezing ocean engulfed him.
Played such a pivotal role in her survival, as well as from the hauntingly beautiful melody that had served as a lifeline during her darkest moments. With an unwavering determination, Sarah Mitchell continued her relentless pursuit of the mysterious secrets that lay hidden beneath the vast expanse of the world beneath the waves. This realm held untold wonders waiting to be unraveled. Coral Haven had captivated her mind as it held forth the possibility of a peaceful respite from the everyday. She packed her snorkeling gear and set out on an adventure that would go down in the annals of history as one of the most remarkable trips ever taken in aquatic environments. Isolde followed her need for excitement to a lonely part of the shore that the natives referred to as the Azure Abyss. This unknown water section exuded an air of curiosity that piqued the community's interest. There were rumors that the depths of this place were home to long-extinct monstrous animals. A stern warning was ingrained in the collective recollection of the people who lived in the town, and it stated that swimmers were not permitted in that particular region. Isolde continued to venture further into the abyss as the sun descended lower and lower in the sky. Her bright turquoise swimsuit stood out strikingly against the background of the ocean's deep blue color. With each subsequent strike the passing minutes seemed like a lifetime to her. She knew she could not swim faster than the great white shark but could try to outmaneuver it. Isolde mustered all her might to make a quick and audacious lunge toward the water's surface, propelling herself upward with all her strength. The shark was initially startled by her sudden burst of speed, but it quickly recovered and charged forward in a frenzy of motion, its enormous jaws slamming shut, just a few inches away from her ankle. Isolde, struggling to stay underwater, finally broke the water's surface as her adrenaline levels skyrocketed. She had escaped death's grasp by the skin of her teeth. The uproar had caught the attention of a nearby fishing boat, and its crew didn't waste any time in getting to work. Once they heard what was going on, they successfully drew the shark's attention away from Isolde by employing a cunning plan that involved the use of bait, which made it possible for Isolde to be rescued and brought on board their ship. Isolde emerged from her terrifying encounter with the great white shark, bloodied and bruised but alive. She was promptly transferred to the closest hospital, where she received severe medical assistance, and the authorities were contacted about the situation. Her terrifying brush with death served as a chilling demonstration of the untamed nature beneath the surface of the water, and it continued to put the fortitude of those who dared to travel too far ashore. A shadowy presence moved beneath him. The water churned and a massive, sinister form emerged. It was a great white shark, a predator of legendary ferocity. In a heart-stopping instant, the shark lunged at Dave with lightning speed, its razor-sharp teeth glistening in the sunlight. With a loud splash, it clamped its formidable jaws onto Dave's lower body, its immense power and primal fury sending shockwaves of pain through him. Dave's screams pierced the air as he grappled with the monstrous predator. He could feel the crushing pressure of the shark's bite, and his bodyboard offered little protection against the relentless assault. Panic surged through him as he fought to stay afloat, his mind racing for a way to escape the deadly grip of the great white. The once tranquil waters of Cape Cod were now a maelstrom of terror and chaos. Beachgoers on shore watched in horror as the horrifying drama unfolded before them. Dave's struggle for survival against one of nature's most formidable predators was a heart-wrenching spectacle that etched itself into the memories of all who witnessed it. Amid the life-and-death battle, Dave's life would hang in the balance, and the brutal attack of a great white shark would forever mar the sunny day. As Dave Mitchell grappled with the relentless jaws of the great white shark, time seemed too slow. The once sunny day had transformed into a harrowing nightmare, with the predator's immense power threatening to pull him under the churning waters of Cape Cod. The shark's razor-sharp teeth had clamped onto Dave's lower body, and the pain was excruciating. His screams for help echoed across the beach, a desperate plea for assistance that seemed lost in the ocean's vastness. Frozen in terror, beachgoers on shore watched helplessly as the life-and-death struggle played out before them. They could scarcely believe their eyes, so they brought their cameras. Maria, in particular, was passionate about making movies and sharing them with her friends and fans. But they were unprepared for a tiger shark's sudden and unwanted arrival. Regarded as one of the ocean's most dangerous predators, the worst-case scenario occurred while they enjoyed the calm surroundings and paddled deeper into the sea. When the tiger shark finally surfaced, Linda and Maria felt a surge of terror accompany them. Fearing for their lives, they attempted valiantly to restore their equilibrium on the board. But panic struck. The tiger shark attacked during the ensuing turmoil, snaking Linda's arms with strong teeth. While her friend Maria heroically attempted to help her, she let out an agonized scream. Maria was, however, also caught in the board during the frantic struggle, making it nearly impossible for her to escape the predator's hold. The savage shark tore at Linda's arms, causing blood to fill the water. As they struggled to deal with the catastrophic situation, time appeared to slow down, and the anguish became unbearable. Maria was stuck and could not help, so the odds seemed overwhelming. The tiger shark plunged deeply into the water, losing sight of itself in a desperate attempt to survive. This provided a little relief for Linda and Maria. Linda felt her power ebbing as she started to lose consciousness while she held her wounded arms. Realizing the situation's urgency, Maria mustered her last strength and broke free from the board. She swam rapidly back to Linda, who was now teetering on unconsciousness. Maria struggled to lift Linda onto the board and paddled back to the shore as quickly as possible. Panic and anxiety drove her determination because she knew every second counted. When they got to the coast, Maria hurried Linda to the closest parking area near the shore. Linda was critically injured, her arms torn and gushing blood. Pain and fear shot through her, making it difficult for her to remain aware. Maria quickly assisted Linda into her car and drove quickly to the closest hospital. Her veins were filled with panic and adrenaline as she fervently begged for Linda's survival. Maria didn't take long to arrive at the hospital. After she hurried Linda into the emergency, adventure is now associated with trauma and danger. She was aware that the wounds from that day would follow her for the rest of her life, both emotionally and physically. The event also acted as a sharp reminder of how unpredictable life can be, and how crucial it is to cherish. Jaden had always possessed an insatiable wanderlust, and he couldn't resist the allure of the sea. As Jaden strolled along the shoreline, he couldn't help but marvel at the beauty surrounding him. The turquoise waves lapped gently at the shore, and the sun bathed everything in a warm golden glow. He found a spot on the beach and settled down, content to soak in the moment's serenity. Unbeknownst to Jaden, danger lurked beneath the tranquil surface of the water. In the depths, a formidable and fearsome predator, a tiger shark, had already spotted Jaden's figure on the surface. The shark moved silently, its powerful body slicing through the water as it closed on its unsuspecting prey. The moment arrived swiftly and without warning. With a sudden burst of speed, the tiger shark lunged at the surface, its dorsal fin cutting through the water like a blade. It struck the floating board Jaden had been standing on, jolting it violently. Jaden, lost in his thoughts and the beauty of his surroundings, was caught off guard. He hadn't been paying attention to the ominous presence lurking below. As the board wobbled and tilted, Jaden lost his balance and tumbled into the water directly into the path of the hungry tiger shark. In an instant, the tranquil scene was transformed into a nightmarish tableau. The water erupted in a chaotic frenzy of thrashing, churning waves as the shark seized its prey. Jaden's world was plunged into darkness and terror as he felt the jaws of the tiger shark clamp down on him. The horrifying reality of the situation unfolded in the blink of an eye. Jaden's life was extinguished instantly, his body becoming one with the sea. The water turned crimson as his blood mingled with the ocean, creating a gruesome tableau of nature's brutality. Back on the beach, Jaden's friends were paralyzed with shock and fear as they witnessed the unthinkable unfold. Jenna's camera fell to the sand, forgotten as she screamed in horror. They watched helplessly as the tiger shark retreated into the depths, carrying Jaden with it, leaving behind only a trail of crimson in its wake. The boardman, responsible for ensuring the safety of the students, had witnessed the horrifying incident from a distance. He reacted with lightning speed, swimming towards the now empty and bloodied board. Panic and fear coursed through him as he desperately looked for any sign of his friend. But Jaden had vanished in the tiger shark's ruthless jaws. Shaken and traumatized, joyful Jaden's friends called out for help, summoning the university staff in a desperate attempt to recover Jaden's body. Despite their exhaustive efforts, the sea remained unforgiving, refusing to yield its grim secret. The relentless currents and the vast expanse of the ocean thwarted their every attempt to find any trace of their fallen comrade. Days turned into nights, and the search continued, but hope dwindled, a reminder to cherish each moment and each person in our lives. In the end, Jaden's story serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the unpredictable nature of our world. It reminds us to savor every moment, embrace every opportunity, and hold our loved ones close, for we never know when the Arav saw a board for hire he persuaded his father to sail with Arav. They started their underwater journey after renting the board and having Arav's father pay for the expenses. Arav was a whirlwind of activity, shouting to his father and striking up conversations with the seaside inhabitants. With the sound of the waves as their constant companion, and the sea wind blowing through their hair, their voyage had already been unforgettable. But that day, fate had more in store for them. They were met with an amazing and unanticipated encounter as they glided through the serene waters. The giant tiger shark they had ever seen surfaced from the depths. Even though Arav was initially excited to see such a magnificent animal, he couldn't help but get a chill of terror. It was a rendezvous with one of the most formidable predators in the ocean. Therefore, this was no ordinary encounter. They felt goosebumps as the enormous tiger shark glided gracefully and powerfully toward their boat. It made a circle around the board, almost like it was these two intrepid travelers. The enormous shark made another pass, slamming into the board, as Arav's heart raced and his terror intensified. Arav lost his balance due to the crash, which sent shockwaves through the small craft. His arms were slightly bruised as the shark's muscular body brushed against them during the following mayhem. The board wobbled alarmingly, tipping over and causing panic. Swiftly moving, the board's operator expertly steered it across the safety area and away from the shark that was drawing near. Despite the terrible situation, Arav's father attempted to reassure his son in a moment of bravery and love. He tried to contain Arav's dread despite the confusion and adrenaline rush, but things were serious. Tiger shark head on, and the lessons he learned from it have stuck with him ever since. Reminding him of the wonder and unpredictable nature, they were ready to embark on this thrilling journey. Australia's natural beauty left them in awe, and they relished every moment there. When fatigue set in, they would return to their hotel room to rest, and seemed to be inching closer to her. Initially, she didn't think much of it, assuming it was a regular occurrence. She called out to her friends to join her, but they were engrossed in their activities and didn't pay much attention. However, as Jaya kept recording, she realized that the water was not receding, but advancing rapidly toward her. Panic washed over her, and she desperately called her friends for help. Ignoring their initial reluctance, they rushed to her side. Amid this chaos, a terrifying event unfolded. A massive tiger shark emerged from the depths of the sea and collided with Jaya's board. Remarkably, she managed to maintain her balance, but the encounter left her afraid. The group of friends had heard stories of the dangers of tiger sharks, and their worst fears were coming true. Seeing the shark approach once again, Jaya took quick action. She attempted to paddle her board away from the predator, hoping to outmaneuver it. However, the relentless tiger shark struck her board again, hitting it from the side. Jaya's friends were now frantic, shouting for her to return to safety. In a desperate bid to escape, Jaya did her best to paddle away as fast as possible. But the relentless tiger shark persisted. The situation grew increasingly dire, and her friends panicked as they witnessed the terrifying encounter. In sheer terror, the tiger shark made a final lunge and struck the side of Jaya's board with great force. A piece of equipment that had fallen into the water temporarily distracted the shark, and this impact caused the board to crack. Jaya seized an opportunity, frantically paddling away from the predator. With a mixture of relief and fear, she managed to put some distance between herself and the shark. Realizing her danger, her friends called for help and alerted the authorities. A cry for assistance echoed across the water, and the Coast Guard swiftly arrived to intervene. With their quick response, they managed to deter the tiger shark and ensure Jaya's safety. The shark, frustrated and foiled in its pursuit, disappeared into the depths of the sea. Trembling and traumatized, Jaya was rescued from the water and brought to the shore. Her friends rushed to her side, relieved she was safe but deeply shaken by the but it had nonetheless picked up on her presence. A great white shark was following her quietly. Its robust and sleek body moved stealthily through the water, its heartless black eyes fixed on the swimmer swimming above it without realizing what was happening. Isolde was utterly oblivious to the imminent danger as she gazed in awe at the surreal beauty of the watery universe encompassing her. She was surrounded by multicolored coral structures that pulled her closer, while schools of iridescent fish swam quickly by her. She proceeded to swim further because she was mesmerized by the beautiful marine life and the hypnotic play of sunlight through the water. Isolde's heart became increasingly troubled as she traveled further into the void. and the unease grew more robust as time passed. On the outskirts of her field of view, the apparition of an enormous and threatening dark person materialized. As she whirled around to confront the intruder in her underwater oceans, she felt a wave of panic. The great white shark, a fearsome creature known for its intimidating rows of razor-sharp teeth and commanding presence, was only a few yards away. Isolde felt a tremor of terror run through her body as she recalled the tales that she had been told about this vicious shark. She could not give in to panic. If she wanted to endure this ordeal, she had to keep her composure. As she evaluated her few choices, her mind raced with many possibilities. She needed to maintain her composure and not panic. Isolde made a last-ditch effort to stay alive by methodically backing away from the approaching shark while maintaining constant eye contact. The predator mimicked her movements with unnerving accuracy and stayed close to her as it performed a predatory dance around her. As she fought against the inevitability of her demise, something new during their summer vacation in June 2005. The trio had spent days exploring the charming town of Merwijk, enjoying its coastal cuisine and relishing the warmth of the locals' hospitality. Though not a seasoned surfer, Emily couldn't help but smile at the sheer exhilaration of it all. She was an avid swimmer back in Belgium and felt comfortable in the water, even if the ocean was more unpredictable than the pools she was accustomed to. As they reached deeper waters, Emily marveled at the vastness of the sea, its azure depths stretching out endlessly. Unbeknownst to Emily, Sarah, and Thomas, their decision to surf in these deeper waters would soon lead them to a scary encounter with one of the ocean's most formidable predators. Merwijk was a place of legends among surfers, known for its towering waves and challenging breaks. The trio had decided to take on the ocean's mighty waves, led by Sarah, who had some surfing experience. Sarah was a free-spirited soul, her laughter contagious and her spirit adventurous. Thomas, the group's brains, had meticulously researched the best surf spots in the area. The sun painted the sky in shades of orange and pink as they paddled out to where the waves were at their best. The rhythmic sound of crashing waves echoed in their ears, a siren's call for surfers chasing that perfect ride. With each stroke, excitement coursed through their veins, and the thrill of adventure beckoned them forward. Emily, determined to master the waves, positioned herself on her surfboard. She observed Sarah and Thomas skillfully catching waves, their laughter echoing through the air. Driven by the desire to share in the thrill, Emily eagerly awaited the perfect wave. Like an evil phantom, an ominous figure surged beneath Emily. In an instant, the tranquil waters transformed into a chaotic storm. Emily's surfboard was brutally rocked, and she plummeted into the churning sea, in on a potential meal. Drawing from his maritime knowledge and survival training years, John signaled for his family to gather close to him. They knew that provoking the shark further was not the answer. Sarah, gripped by fear, knew the urgency of their situation. She began to swim slowly and steadily toward the nearest boat, signaling her family to follow her movements. Their only hope lay in reaching safety. With an abrupt burst of aggression, the tiger shark lunged at John, its enormous jaws clamping onto his leg. The excruciating pain that shot through him was searing, but he remained calm. He remembered the survival tactics he had learned and maintained eye contact with the shark, while gently pushing it away with his free leg. This tactic distracted the shark and bought him precious seconds. In the turmoil, Jake, wide-eyed and trembling with terror, stuck close to his mother as they continued to swim towards the boat. They knew that staying together and minimizing sudden movements was their best chance at survival. Paralyzed by the weight of fear and desperation, Sarah could only watch in anguished horror as her family faced the relentless onslaught of the shark. But she knew they had to stay composed. With grit and determination, Sarah, John, and Jake pooled their collective strength and resourcefulness, wielding their snorkeling gear in a carefully coordinated effort to deter the circling shark. They extended their fins and raised their snorkels high, creating an intimidating visual presence as they maintained their unyielding resolve. In response, the shark exhibited, offering him whatever solace she could amidst the chaos. As for Jake, he had narrowly escaped physical harm, but the mental scars from the shark attack ran deep. Nightmares would haunt his sleep for months to come, and the once adventurous teenager now viewed the ocean with changed. The azure waters they had once found so inviting were now a haunting reminder of the day their lives were turned upside down. They leaned on each other for strength, their bond more robust than ever as they navigated the challenges of physical and emotional recovery. Their story served as a stark reminder of the unpredictable and unforgiving nature of the sea. Despite their horrors, the Summers family found solace in their love for each other. Unyielding spirit and determination to rebuild their Florida lived a man named David Mitchell, a 35-year-old insurance agent who had always been drawn to the ocean. With sun-kissed hair and a perpetual tan, David epitomized the laid-back beachgoer lifestyle synonymous with the Florida Gulf Coast. He was known for his love of bodyboarding, a passion that had grown over the years. Originally from Michigan, David had moved to Florida to pursue his dream job. The insurance industry provided him with a comfortable life, but it was the ocean that truly captured his heart. He would often spend his weekends riding the waves, finding solace and exhilaration in the rhythm of the sea. David's closest companion and bodyboarding buddy was Danny Rodriguez, a childhood friend who had also relocated to Florida from Michigan. Their friendship had stood the test of time, and the ocean had only strengthened their bond. Danny was a fellow adventure enthusiast, and the duo shared countless waves and unforgettable beach. Today was no different, or so they thought. Little did they know that this excursion would become a defining moment to test their courage and resilience in the face of a relentless predator. David and Danny continued their bodyboarding adventure, riding the waves with exhilaration. As David paddled out to catch another wave, he noticed a sudden change in the water's movement. It became turbulent and erratic, as if an invisible force were manipulating the waves. He paused, trying to make sense of this unusual phenomenon when, without warning, the water's surface erupted in an explosion of spray and foam. A massive bull shark, its sleek and muscular body glistening in the sunlight, breached the surface with astonishing force. Its jaws opened wide, revealing row upon row of razor-sharp teeth, and it was headed straight for David. The time seemed to slow as David registered the impending danger. With heart-pounding terror, he realized he was about to become the target of a predator's ruthless assault. Desperation kicked in as the shark closed in, and he fought to evade the oncoming threat. The shark's powerful jaws clamped down on David's leg, a searing pain coursing through his body as the merciless predator tore into his flesh. Blood clouded the water around them as David screamed in agony, locked in a life-and-death struggle with the apex predator. Still in the water nearby, Danny watched with growing concern as the chaotic scene unfolded. The ocean around them became a battleground of survival. With quick thinking and a pounding heart, he used his bodyboard and began slapping it against the water's surface, creating loud splashes and vibrations in an attempt to startle the shark. The bull shark, momentarily taken aback by the sudden noise and vibrations, released its grip on David's leg and retreated into the depths. David, now bleeding and in pain, knew that time was of the essence. They needed immediate medical attention to have any chance of survival. Danny's instinctive response with the bodyboard had bought them a brief respite in this perilous situation. With every ounce of strength they could muster, they began their painstaking. The shark's relentless assault replayed in their minds, fueling their determination to reach safety. A sense of relief washed over them as they approached the shallower waters near the shoreline. But their ordeal was far from over. The pain and exhaustion had taken a toll on David, and his strength waned with each passing moment. With Danny's support, they finally staggered onto the beach, their bodies trembling with shock and adrenaline. Bystanders rushed to their aid, horrified by David's mangled leg. Someone had already called for an ambulance, and the sound of approaching. Witnessing the shark attack haunted his dreams, and the guilt of being unable to prevent it weighed heavily on his shoulders. The experience had forever altered their perception of the ocean, transforming a place of wonder into one of danger. Their families, who had rushed to be by their sides, provided much-needed emotional support during recovery. The bond between David and Danny, forged through the crucible of this life-threatening ordeal, would only strengthen in the face of adversity. As they left the hospital, their bodies and minds scarred but resilient, they couldn't help but wonder how that brutal encounter would affect their lives with the great white shark. The ocean, once a source of joy and fascination, had become a realm of primal fear, its depths concealing untold. In the picturesque coastal town of Merwick, nestled along the pristine shores of the Pacific Ocean, three adventurous friends from Belgium embarked on a journey they would. As Emily resurfaced, disoriented and gasping for air, she faced a horrifying reality. A colossal great white shark, an ocean apex predator, circled her. Panic coursed through her veins as the enormity of the threat became unmistakably clear. Sarah and Thomas, a short distance away on their boards, were paralyzed with shock as they beheld the nightmarish spectacle unfolding before them. Their friend, trapped in the watery realm of a ruthless predator, was in grave danger. As the great white shark lunged at Emily with lightning speed, it clamped down on her leg, its razor-sharp teeth sinking deep into her flesh. The initial shock and pain were overwhelming, and Emily struggled to stay calm as she grappled with the reality of the situation. Seconds later, the shark's behavior abruptly changed. Its movements became more erratic, and its grip on Emily's leg loosened. In a sudden and unexpected twist, the shark seemed to realize that Emily was not the prey it had initially mistaken her for. With a quick flick of its tail, the great white shark released its hold on Emily's leg and began to swim away, its powerful form disappearing into the depths of the ocean. Sarah, who had witnessed the entire harrowing event, paddled towards Emily as fast as she could. The adrenaline pumping through her veins fueled her efforts to reach her injured friend. With a determined effort, she pulled Emily onto her surfboard. Thomas, his heart pounding, managed to scramble onto his board while keeping a vigilant watch on the vast expanse of the sea. In their frantic escape, Sarah and Thomas paddled with all their might, their adrenaline-fueled efforts propelling them toward the safety of the shore. Emily's leg throbbed with excruciating pain, her body weakened by the relentless attack. Blood tainted the water around her, a stark reminder of their narrowly escaped peril. As they finally reached the shore, their legs trembling with exhaustion, the total weight of the harrowing encounter descended upon them. Emily's injured leg was mangled, a gruesome testament to the ferocity of the great white shark's assault. The coastal adventure they had embarked upon had transformed into a nightmarish battle for survival, leaving physical and emotional scars that would linger long after the salt water had dried from their skin. The sandy shore, once a symbol of serenity, became the site of their deliverance from the abyss. With Emily's life hanging in the balance, Sarah and Thomas sprang into action, desperately calling for help. Nearby beachgoers rushed to their aid, summoning with Emily, Sarah, and Thomas emerging stronger than ever. The scars on Emily's leg were a permanent reminder of the indomitable will that had seen her through the darkest days. Their shared experience had forged an unbreakable bond, a testament to the strength of their friendship. The ocean, once a source of joy and adventure, had bestowed upon them a harsh lesson in the unpredictability of nature. Yet, they emerged from the depths of despair, scarred but not defeated. With each passing day, as they gazed out at the endless expanse of the sea, they acknowledged its incredible power and respected its untamed beauty. The great white sharks had left an indelible mark on their lives, a reminder that in the face of nature's ferocity, the human spirit could endure and emerge stronger, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. And so, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow upon the tranquil waters, Emily, Sarah, and Thomas stood side by side, their friendship unshaken, their spirits unbroken, and their hearts forever connected by the shared memory of a day when the ocean had tested their mettle, and they had emerged triumphant. Behaviors indicative of its cautious nature, veering away momentarily as it assessed the situation. These synchronized movements and the use of their snorkeling gear as improvised deterrents bought them precious moments in the dangerous depths. As they resurfaced, battered and breathless, the water around them took on a gruesome hue, stained by the blood of their struggle. With severe wounds, John's leg bore the brunt of the attack, but he remained focused on their goal, reaching the boat. Despite their waning strength, the family's shared determination remains powerful, sustaining them through the harrowing ordeal. Although initially overwhelmed by shock, Sarah felt the urgency of the situation intensify. She clenched her teeth against the fear and tried her best to stem the relentless bleeding from John's grievous wound, all while providing solace to a terrified Jake. In a twist of fate, their salvation arrived swiftly. A fellow snorkeler, who had witnessed the horrifying attack unfold from a distance, called out for help. The boat crew, alerted by the frantic plea, sprang into action swiftly. With the grace of seasoned rescuers, they extended a lifeline to the embattled family, pulling them aboard the boat. Their faces bore the unmistakable marks of pain and trauma, yet they clung to the fragile thread of hope that had woven its way through the chaos. John's leg, a brutal testament to the ocean's capricious power, remained the focus of their collective anxiety. The boat raced back to the shore, every minute feeling like an eternity for the wounded family. They were met by a team of paramedics alerted. It was the sweltering summer of 2002 in the peaceful coastal town of Serenity Beach, where destiny weaved an unlikely tale between its soothing embrace. She had come to Serenity Beach for a much-needed vacation, seeking solace in the sun-kissed wave about to converge. Families and tourists dotted the shoreline, building sandcastles, sharing intimate walks, and brave surfers riding the waves in the distance. Little did Emily and Mike know this sunny day would be etched into their lives as pivotal. The warm breeze carried the tang of salt water. Emily decided to dip in the ocean, seeking relief from the heat. The urge to relieve herself struck, and she did what many beachgoers do discreetly. She peed in the sea. Unbeknownst to her, this seemingly harmless act would set in motion a chain of events that would test the courage of both Emily and Mike in the face of unforeseen danger. As he grasped the potential danger, bull sharks were notorious for their aggressive tendencies, and this situation could turn perilous in an instant. Thus, the stage was set for an unexpected encounter on that fateful day. Little did they know that their lives were about to intertwine in a way neither could have anticipated. Blissfully unaware, sleek form sliced through the water, drawing nearer and nearer to its unsuspecting prey. Emily, lost in the simple pleasure of the moment, felt a sudden sharp pain shoot through her leg. She gasped, her eyes widening in shock as she looked down into the water, her mind struggling to comprehend what was happening. In a fraction of a second, the bull shark had lunged, its mighty jaws clamping down on Emily's lower leg. The pain was excruciating, and Emily let out a piercing scream that echoed across the serene beach. Panic surged as she fought to stay afloat, thrashing her limbs in desperation. Now Emily's leg and thrashed in the water. Blood stained the ocean unstable. As the wounded bull shark retreated into the ocean's depths, its predatory instincts overpowered by pain, Emily and Mike's lives had become forever entwined in a life-and-death struggle against nature's ruthless force. With the wounded bull shark retreating into the depths, a tense silence descended upon Serenity Beach. The battle between Emily Cox and the predatory beast had left its mark in the ocean and the hearts and minds of all who had witnessed the harrowing ordeal. Emily's leg, now wrapped in makeshift bandages, throbbed with pain. The once cheerful vacationer had become a survivor, her life forever altered by the vicious attack. Mike Reynolds, the marine biologist turned hero, stayed by her side, offering what comfort he could amidst summer of 1999. Amidst the pristine beauty of Maui, Hawaii, a family from Greenville embarked on a vacation that would forever be etched in their memories. The sun beat down on the golden sands, and the turquoise waters beckoned to the eager. Prowled these waters, and one particularly formidable specimen was about to change the course of their day. Olivia took a refreshing dip as the sun dipped lower, casting a warm golden hue over the island. Her husband watched with a contented smile as she waded into the crystal-clear water, the coolness washing over her. It was a moment of pure bliss and relaxation, until it all unraveled instantly. As Olivia Wilde waded into the inviting waters of Makina Beach, she had no clue of the impending danger. The tranquil scene of her family's laughter and the gentle lapping of waves was shattered when a colossal tiger shark emerged from the depths, its dorsal fin cutting through the water like a sinister knife. In a heart-stopping instant, the shark lunged at Olivia, its massive jaws clamping down on her lower body. The sudden, brutal attack sent shockwaves through her, and she let out a gut-wrenching scream that echoed across the beach. The stage was set for one of the worst tiger shark attacks in history, a harrowing encounter that would test the courage of Olivia Wilde, the unsuspecting vacationer, and Robert Duvall, the loving husband who would become her unexpected hero in the face of nature's relentless brutality. Her husband, Robert Duvall, witnessed the horror unfolding before him. Panic surged through his veins, but he knew he had to act fast to save his beloved wife. With unbridled determination, he raced towards the water, his heart pounding and his voice a desperate cry for help. Olivia's screams filled the air as she grappled with the relentless predator. The tiger shark's razor-sharp teeth sank deep into her flesh, causing unimaginable pain. Blood began to taint the once clear waters, painting a horrifying tableau of the struggle between human and beast. Robert reached the water's edge and didn't hesitate. He dove into the ocean with every ounce of strength and courage, and swam toward his wife and the monstrous shark. Fear for Olivia's life fueled his every stroke. Frozen in terror, the children watched as their father battled against the odds to save their mother. Their young hearts pounded with fear and desperation as they clung to the shoreline, their innocent eyes forced to witness the gruesome spectacle. Amidst the chaos, Olivia fought for her life. She knew that every moment was precious, and her instincts kicked in. She thrashed and fought, using every bit of strength she had left to fend off the relentless predator that threatened to drag her beneath the surface. The struggle between man and shark raged on, an epic battle of survival in the heart of the ocean. The once serene beach is now a scene of chaos and terror as onlookers watched in horror, helpless to intervene. As Robert reached his wife, he summoned a reserve of strength he never knew he had. With a final surge of determination, he managed to land a decisive blow to the tiger shark, startling the predator enough to loosen its grip on Olivia. It was a moment of sheer heroism in their family's lore. Together, Robert and Olivia managed to return to the shore, leaving behind the wounded but still dangerous tiger shark. The beachgoers rushed to their aid, calling for help and tending to Olivia's grievous sunny summer day along the picturesque coast of Cape Cod, Massachusetts. The azure waters sparkled under the warm sun, drawing beachgoers and surf enthusiasts to seek the perfect wave. Cod's beaches were bustling with activity. The air was filled with the salty tang of the sea, and the sound of crashing waves was music. Dave's bodyboard bobbed in the water, the shark's massive form visible beneath the surface. The shark, driven by its primal instincts, was relentless. It thrashed and shook its mighty head, determined to keep its prey within its grasp. Blood tainted the water around Dave, a gruesome testament to the ferocity of the battle. Meanwhile, a sense of urgency had swept across the beach. Calls for help rang out, summoning lifeguards and first responders to the scene. Bystanders formed human chains, reaching into the water desperately to reach Dave and pull him to safety. The struggle between man and the great white shark raged on, an epic battle of survival in the heart of the ocean. Dave's screams for help were now joined by the shouts and cries of those on shore, willing him to overcome the odds and break free from the relentless predator. With determination, Dave managed to land a decisive blow to the shark's snout. The predator, stunned by the force of the impact, finally released its grip on him. It was a moment of sheer heroism that would be forever etched into the annals of Cape Cod's history. Bystanders quickly rushed to Dave's aid, pulling him to safety as the great white shark retreated into the depths. His body was battered and his spirit shaken, but he had emerged from the horrifying encounter with his life intact. The brutal attack had forever changed the once tranquil beach of Cape Cod, and the community would be marked by the heroic efforts of those who had...